showed up one day without a map or a compass, or to be honest, anyone capable of giving one iota of good fucking advice. And I know it all may seem sad, but guess what? I didn't build this system, nor did I fuck it up.
Wow, what an intro.
You know, I tried to be as cool as Rue, but I don't think I delivered it as cool as she can.
Who's as cool as Rue?
I don't think anybody is.
Whatever it goes from little girl Rue to just Rue comes walking in as a teenager in those big shorts and that crop tops, I was just like, whoa, this looks like a superstar walking in.
She didn't even say anything. It was just her walk. And I was like, whoa.
Who is that?
I'm like, Zendaya is a star. Wow.
Look at this hot take coming 7 years later. Zendaya might be a star.
She has something, I think. We should really be looking at her.
That whole cold open was like quite an announcement for this show. I mean, she starts in the womb.
It comes in strong.
They show 9/11 in the first 5 seconds of the show.
All right. Well, welcome to the Previously On podcast. I'm Jillian Bonanne, and joining me today, a guy who was clutching his pearls for his first Euphoria watching experience. It's my husband, Tyler Branch.
Jillian, I was all flush watching this show. It was just too much.
You were clutching those
youth
pearls.
of America living those sinful lives. Jillian loves when I do this. This started with me doing some red wine, and I would just start going into my delicate Southern man voice and say, I'm all flush. And now it's turned into I'm just offended by the youth of America and their sinful ways. I'm all flush at this euphoria.
You couldn't believe it. Nudity, violence.
They had it all.
9/11.
All the HBO hallmarks.
Yeah, this is definitely an HBO show.
2 erect penises in the pilot.
What more do you want?
Well,
they brought the penis back to TV or started it. I don't know if they brought it back. Well, today we are talking all about Euphoria Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot. We are going back to the beginning and covering every episode of Euphoria before Season 3 premieres on April 12th. I'm rewatching. I've watched the series before when it first came out, but that was in 2019, which feels like a lifetime ago. I mean, this might as well be a nostalgia show at this point.
The before time.
And Tyler is watching for the first time.
This is my first time watch. I knew I was in for something when they had that big opening of the following episode contains violence, nudity, and sexual content that may be disturbing to viewers. And I was like, this is before even the like HBO thing comes up. I was like, we're really getting into something.
They're like, we really got to warn these viewers. They don't know what's coming.
Delicate Southern man is not ready for what is about to occur.
You weren't ready, even though you've had 6 years now to prepare yourself. You still weren't ready for what was to come.
You are right, though, about this feeling like a lifetime ago, because it being like pre-COVID, like 2019, it really does just feel very different already, which it's so funny for me watching a show that feels like it's trying to make some big announcement about like the youth of America today. And I'm like, these are the old people compared to the youth of America.
I know.
Today. Like all these people are like in their 30s and movie stars now. It's kind of crazy for me, the experience of watching it and being like, look at all these big movie stars right when they were like starting out.
In the opening of the show, too, they're talking about how fucked up the youth of America is with everything going on.
No idea.
And I'm like, just you wait. Just you wait.
I have no idea.
You don't even know what's coming.
No.
They could literally redo this show at this point.
What if we took the youth and locked them inside for 2 years? And then they'll probably come out totally fine with no anxiety, fully functioning. It'll be great.
It was fun watching them all party.
Oh, yeah.
Because isn't that what everyone's concerned about? The youth isn't partying
Honestly,
anymore.
Now watching it, I'm like, go to more parties. Do it. Get out there while you can.
Let's go drinking.
The next couple years are about to be rough.
Yeah, take your top off. Now's the time to do it.
I didn't say that. I'm getting all flush again.
All right. Well, before we get into the app, if you haven't already, please subscribe and follow our podcast. Give us 5 stars. Like our vids on YouTube. Share with your friends. It all really helps. We would love that. we are excited for you guys to go on this Euphoria journey with us. We hope that you are rewatching along as well. We're going to go through every single episode. Before we get into the pilot, we got to talk some Euphoria lore because love it or hate it, this show has a place in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
So, Tyler, I put you in charge of getting some background info for us because I think everybody kind of needs to be reminded of what this show did.
That the show was a big deal.
That, it was huge.
I mean, again, this is my first time watching it. Never seen a single ep, and the thing I've only seen so far is the pilot. We haven't like watched ahead or anything. Like this is my one experience. But I weirdly felt like I knew a lot about the show just from it being around and being online. Like
I mean, it was a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. So you had me pull some stats on it to explain what a big deal Euphoria was and probably still is.
Well, and that's why we're rewatching this too, or watching for the first time, rewatching, because this show was huge, you guys. This does not come around all the time.
Well, honestly, I was like intrigued to watch because I kind of can't believe these people are doing it. I don't know if they're contractually obligated to do it, but it's just kind of crazy that like Jacob Elordi is like nominated for an Oscar this year. Sydney Sweeney puts out like massive box office movies like Housemaid and stuff. Zendaya is one of the biggest stars on the planet. It's putting out 2 massive franchise movies this year in Spider-Man and Dune 3. And all these people are just going to be at a TV show every week.
like I'm going to be watching. I want to watch these 3 huge movie stars now go back and do a TV show. This does not happen every day.
And not even to mention all the other famous people in the cast.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I mean, who are also stars, you know?
This show put out stars. That is definitely one thing that it did. Like, a lot of the younger roles in Hollywood have gone to somebody who was on the cast of Euphoria at some point.
Yes. Okay. Euphoria premiered June 16th of 2019. And at the time of its release, its second season, it became the second most watched show of all time on HBO behind Game of Thrones. Season 2 premiere got 19 million viewers.
That's insane numbers.
It's insane.
That's crazy.
Through 2 seasons, Euphoria has been nominated for 25 Emmy Awards, including Zendaya winning Best Actress at the Emmys twice for playing Rue. So both seasons she's played Rue, she's won Best Actress at the Emmys.
Which I kind of forgot she won twice. Like, that's pretty crazy that every season she plays Rue, she wins an Emmy.
Well, here's how HBO described the show when it was released. It said, multimedia superstar Zendaya stars in a dynamic new HBO drama series that follows a group of high school students as they navigate a minefield of drugs, sex, identity, trauma, social media, love, and friendship in today's increasingly unstable world. Oh, the unstable world of 2019.
Oh my God. Again, they could redo this show and do it like after pandemic version, but I guess we just watch the youth at home. I don't know. I love the
they thought growing up in the after effect of 9/11 was like the big thing for them.
Yeah.
It's like they have no idea the changes that are about to come with like, you know, remote, like everything being remote and Zoom and like all the effects of the pandemic.
I love that they refer to it as a minefield of drugs, sex, and just a bunch of like every word you can think of. Social media, love, friendship, like just every
it is like,
word.
This was like SEO, like how can we get all the words in here?
It's like everything you can think of is going to be in this show.
All right, next on my little dossier I made for you, Euphoria was created by 34-year-old Nepo baby Sam Levinson, who had been writing movies for a while but hadn't had much success or critical praise before this or since. And his dad is Oscar-winning director Barry Levinson, who made quite a few big hit movies in the 80s and 90s, including Best Picture winner Rain Man with Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman. Through some meetings at HBO, the show was created from Sam Levinson's stories about his own teenage struggles with anxiety and addiction, along with adapting the Israeli TV show known as Euphoria, which showed a group of 17-year-olds hooking up and doing drugs with no parents around. Which I think that show was kind of inspired by Skins a little bit.
Right. I do think this show gets compared to Skins a lot, which I feel like we'll get into more as we progress with the show, because I was a big fan of Skins and
Also
watched
put out a lot
that.
of big movie stars Skins.
I know. We should just keep putting out these like wild teen shows because they produce so many stars in them.
The show has 16 executive producers, including Drake.
I remember when this show first aired, like Drake's name kept being brought up that he was an executive producer, and I cannot remember how he ended up an executive producer on this show. But
I completely missed he was an executive producer on this show. I was like, what? I was like, this
it was
crazy.
Wildly talked about at that time. I think he was like giving interviews for the show.
It was like, how many names can we drop in this show?
It was like, if Euphoria wins an Emmy, will Drake win an Emmy?
I think.
Yeah.
The last episode of Euphoria was the season 2 finale, which aired February 27th, 2022. So over 4 years ago. But now they're back with season 3 premiering April 12th, 2026, we think. It seems full speed ahead, but I got to say the headlines change on Euphoria regularly.
I mean, there's just constant news and updates about this show. They cannot stay out of the headlines.
Well, that's also why I think you want to cover it, because there's just always new news about this show.
Especially the making of season 3. I mean, remember when it was reported that Rue was, they wrote the whole thing and then scrapped the whole thing, and Rue was going to be a detective the whole time.
Man.
It was going to be like film noir or something like that.
Yeah.
So there has been headlines for years about season 3, and we're finally getting it, but it really didn't even seem plausible that we were going to get it until a few months ago, till we actually saw like a trailer for this show.
I was skeptical it was ever going to happen. I just thought, I was like, I don't know, I could see Zendaya getting her agent on this and being like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it seemed like that was going to happen maybe at one point, or it seemed like maybe she was trying. We don't know. Like, we don't really know.
Maybe she loves the character and like wants to like have a goodbye.
I'm sure she loves the character. I mean, she's won 2 Emmys. And she loves this show. But I'm sure after 4 years, you're like, oh, this is kind of wild to go back to.
You've probably changed so much as a person since then. It's kind of like hard to go back to the character, I'm sure.
It would be like you left high school, you went to college for 4 years, and then you go back to high school for a year.
It is crazy that season 2 was over 4 years ago, which I think you brought up was the entirety of high school. Like, it's a teen show that took 4 years between seasons.
Wild. At least we are getting a time jump. If I had to watch like Jacob Elordi with a backpack walking through a hallway, that would be pretty crazy.
That. I wish they wouldn't do a time jump. I wish they'd be like the next day.
That would have been really funny. Maybe they should have. Well, we'll find out once we watch season 3. But let's talk about some of the known behind the scenes drama on Euphoria. Sure. So, first
tell me a little bit about the drama. I'm sure
we got to give a congrats to Zendaya. She now is seemingly married to Tom Holland. Married? It seems
I saw that
way.
Clip of her stylist saying you missed the wedding or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like she's married. It's done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, talk about more of a secret wedding than JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
I know.
How did she pull this off?
How did they keep this completely secret if they did an actual wedding?
I know. I don't think we'll ever even see a photo of it. Good for her.
Wow.
Good for her, even though I'm kind of sad about it. But
that'll be fun, them doing press for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get the story then. We'll see.
Yeah.
Labyrinth posted on his Instagram, double fuck Euphoria, and said he's done with the industry. So Labyrinth does some music for the show. He won an Emmy for doing music for the show. The music of the show is really ingrained into this show too.
Yeah.
So what went on there?
Well, I saw a thing when you sent me this, then I was looking it up, and I saw that like Hans Zimmer had also been added as like a music composer for season 3, which is bizarre.
Like, we don't need that.
the big movie composer, does like Christopher Nolan movies and stuff. Famous for doing the like dome kind of stuff.
Which is not the vibe really of the show, but I don't know what the vibe of the season 3 will be. So
I don't know if like somehow Labyrinth got screwed on that of like Hans Zimmer coming in. I don't know if like I don't know.
I feel like
what's going on. Sometimes I'm always like, also like, I don't know, is this just like publicity for the show? I never know what's going on. I'm like, the show seems so crazy. Like
every
I never
headline
know what's
I read,
real. Like I'm always like a little bit in the back of my mind, like, is this just like a publicity stunt or is this real? Or like, what's going on?
And a lot of this, we don't really know what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of rumors of cast feuds with, Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney, which we don't really know if that's true at all.
Who knows?
But people love to talk about cast rumors with this. Yeah. And then
that one girl did leave the show, right?
Yes, that is true. Barbie,
who plays Kat.
Yeah. Barbie Ferreira left the show over disagreements on where her character was headed. So spoiler alert for you, she has a reduced role in season 2, and then she won't be in season 3 at all. Sorry. Yeah. And then many actresses who've been on the show have expressed their discomfort with the show scripting so much nudity in it. So that's something that has been discussed.
Yeah.
And I mean,
he immediately in the pilot deployed Sydney Sweeney for what she's known for. You know, like it was just immediately
I know.
It's like right out the gates. Here we go.
Rough to watch. And season 2 was plagued with reports of a toxic and unsafe working environment that HBO has denied. So
what a show. This is so much going on.
So much going on. And then shooting for season 3 was delayed for years at a time.
Yes.
And between season 2 and 3, Sam Levinson and The Weeknd made the show The Idol, which received extremely negative reviews. Yeah. It is labeled as, according to The Guardian, at least, they called it one of the worst shows ever made.
Wow. I have not seen that show, but friends who have seen it have said it's quite awful.
I think because The Idol was labeled as such a terrible show and got such horrible reviews that now people think that's what Euphoria is like too. And I'm here to say, you guys are wrong. At least with this pilot episode that we watched. I mean, this pilot was so good.
Yeah. Well, it's probably helpful when your lead is Zendaya instead of The Weeknd. Like, no offense to The Weeknd. But like,
that's true.
Zendaya's quite a good actress. I was asking you if we were going to cover The Idol because I was reading that The Idol is connected. It's in the same universe as the show.
I don't know.
I don't have it in me.
I don't have it in me.
You're not doing it?
I just don't.
Okay. We can read what happens.
We'll see how our journey with Euphoria goes, and then we'll see if I feel the need to watch The Idol. Just from everything that was said, I don't know if I can stomach it, honestly.
You might be right that The Idol might have stained people's idea of what Euphoria is, and I don't know. I haven't watched the rest of the show, but the pilot, I think, is quite good.
It was very good, and I was really reminded why we all love this show. It's very cinematic. It really pulls you in the first couple minutes. And I'm like, whoa, this is a TV show.
I mean, this has to be the highest budgeted teen TV show ever made. Like, the budget for this pilot, the amount of like cinematic tricks they're doing I'm just like, this is expensive.
Yeah.
Like
Thank
the show looks
for dropping that money on it, HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like one thing that like stood out to me was just like all those like fast flashback scenes where it's like they show like Sylvia Plath like sticking her head in the oven. I'm like, they have to make a set for that 1 second shot. Like this is an expensive show.
They went all out for this show and it worked.
It grabs your attention, no doubt.
I think that is really what I felt like with the pilot of like, this really does pull you in right away.
Jillian, remind us what happened in the pilot.
Yeah, so quick recap of the pilot. Rue returns home from rehab with no plans to stay clean. She meets Jules, who's new in town, at a party at McKay's house. Nate gets in McKay's head when McKay takes an interest in Cassie. Nate and Maddy, who have been broken up once again, attempt to make each other jealous. Meanwhile, Kat is pressured to lose something. Something. Just another day at Euphoria High.
Just another day at Euphoria High.
I love calling it Euphoria High.
I mean, these teenagers, they're living the life.
Yeah, you haven't even seen them at school yet. This was just a summer episode. This
was
before school started back
in
yet.
the summer.
Yeah, I love an end of summer
Rue's
episode.
Been in rehab all of summer.
Yeah.
And is like coming back now. Because everyone's like, oh, Rue's alive. It's like I'm seeing a ghost.
They thought she died. They were like, didn't she die? That was so funny. That was
we
wild.
Thought you died, girl.
Yeah. Glad to see you're alive, Rue. Welcome back.
That one girl calls her Casper. You're a ghost.
I know. This show, I will say, look, it's a very heightened show, obviously.
You think?
I think it's quite heightened, but then when they have a line where they call her Casper because they thought she died, I'm like, oh, that's how teenagers talk. They get some of that right, you know? Like, fun. I could see everybody just calling her Casper and her just being like, yep, I'm Casper now.
Rue is so cool, though.
That's what we just kept saying the entire time we watched this pilot. God, Rue is so cool. Zendaya is so cool.
Yeah.
I could never. We do get a great introduction to all the characters in this pilot episode. I think that that's something that this episode does really well. There's a lot of characters in this show. We have all the girls in it. We have Nate Jacobs. And I think this just does such a great job of Rue narrating this episode. And you really get a sense of who everybody is just by like the couple of lines that she gives.
It's one of those just well-developed pilots because like you spend just enough time with each character to be intrigued by where this is going for all of them. And it shows you how they're all kind of loosely connected to each other.
Yeah.
But not like exactly best friends and stuff.
No, that's kind of something they play with throughout season 1. And I think that that's what people...
Don't be spoiling it for me.
I know. I don't want to say too much, but...
Don't be spoiling stuff.
I think that I really started to like the show when they like showed more of the dynamics of everybody together.
Like how they interact. It's interesting how this has Zendaya doing voiceover throughout the pilot. I don't know if that continues in the show or not, but she kind of sets things up really well. And like, so like when you see Nate, she's like, I didn't hate Nate till all the Jules stuff. But then she's like, he did try to like finger me back freshman year at the dance.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? And so it's just like kind of these like, but that gives the vibe of like, yeah, we just go to high school together. I'm not like best friends with these people. Like, we're just all in the same town here and y'all go to school together. Show reminded me, I was like, clearly Sam Levinson, I think, likes, you know, a lot of movies I like, a lot of Scorsese in this and how it's shot, but also a lot of like Paul Thomas Anderson, like Boogie
Definitely,
Nights. Like, his movies where there are lots of characters kind of interconnected, like an ensemble of people that you move around and show like another character might pop in or might not. And then other characters might not interact with each other at all. Like it's just kind of a big ensemble but shot in a very like frenetic way. And, you know, it has similar vibes because a lot of those Paul Thomas Anderson movies are in the Valley, like outside of LA kind of areas. Like, and this very much has that vibe, that just California, but not like full LA.
Yeah, we don't like fully know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
And I think they keep that vague on purpose. I think what hooked me to this show when I first watched it was the moment in this episode where Jules says to Kat, bitch, this isn't the 80s. You need to get your dick. I was like, after she says that line, I'm like, okay, I kind of love this show.
You got to catch a dick.
It's so funny. Good. The line reading of it is so funny. And I think what I loved about it is so many, of the teen dramas that we grew up with, there's like all these virginity storylines and all that. And it's like, this show's like, we are not that show. We are not one of those older teen drama shows. We're not going to be giving you that nostalgia. We are giving you real shit.
Yeah, you're not getting the romantic them under a blanket or something.
Yeah, right.
Like lose their virginity.
Right.
Like, to the big fade out in music. That ain't happening.
That ain't happening in this show.
The whole show's very heightened, and I gotta say, I really liked the show. I thought this was I didn't know what to expect. I've heard a lot of negative things about Euphoria online, so like I thought I might come in and not like it, and I was a little worried. I'd said to you, like, this is gonna be a long haul if I come in and just hate this show, and we're just like, shitting on this show for like a month, but I loved it. I thought the pilot was great. And I think if something like this dropped now with like even a slightly more modern like take on things, it would be like amazing. Everyone would love it because it's like most shows don't go for it like this. And that's what I respect. Like I really like heightened things. I like stuff that's so over the top, but it's trying to make a deeper point. It's like, yes, they're shocking you, but it's I think some people probably have heard negatively compare Euphoria to like the kind of show that like parents worry all their teens are doing. And I see that, but I think it's also showing you this over the top so you feel more in their heads of how they just feel anxious.
Well, it's also not shock just for shock value. They're not doing it just so you'll be like, oh my God, Pearl's clutched.
Like, well, my pearls were clutched.
Right. But it works in the story. And there's a lot of it, too, that's heightened, but feels very realistic. And I think that no matter what generation you come from, there's something you can relate to in this show. Like, it still is a coming-of-age story.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it is like, no one knows who they are yet. They're all figuring that out.
Right. So people want to act like it's so unrealistic.
Except Ashtray. I think Ashtray knows who he is. I loved Ashtray. Ashtray's got it all figured out. He's just trying to pay off his mortgage, stacking cash.
He is hustling. He's working hard, okay? He's putting in
hustling.
The hours.
That gas station refrigerator.
Yeah, I think that it's just like everyone, wants to act like, well, that's not like what teenagers really do. And it's like, who cares? Why are we always looking for like these realistic type shows? Like, I don't want to watch reality necessarily. I want there to be moments I can relate to, but I don't need it to look like exactly what my teenage years looked like.
How dare you say that's not what teenagers really do? I think Ashtray lives in that convenience store as like a 10-year-old child selling drugs with his tattoos paying off his mortgage. How dare you say this is heightened in any way?
I love that you're acting like Ashtray is the main character of the show right now. I'm like, Ashtray's not even one of the teens in the show. He's a child.
Like, we should have just abandoned all these movie stars, and season 3 should have been about Ashtray.
Well, Ashtray could still become a movie star. We don't know yet.
We don't know.
Well, was it as shocking as you thought it was going to be, though? I mean, that is really what everyone always talked about with this show. Was it as at least this first episode, was it as shocking as what you thought?
Yeah. I think,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not like someone who's like getting offended by what I watch. I don't mean shocking in that way.
Right.
But I do mean like, damn, that's where they're going with these characters? I was like, in that way, I was like, this is crazy.
Like, whoa. Yeah.
We are really going for it with this pilot.
Yeah. I mean, I know people who couldn't continue on with the show after watching the pilot. They were just like, it's just like too much for me.
I mean, there's a darkness, but it's very dark funny. I would compare like the tone of it a lot, weirdly, to Fight Club, where it's like, it's so bleak, but they're being so like kind of, it weirdly has that like Gen X-y kind of like whatever attitude of just like, yes, our world is totally screwed. We all hate our lives and let's party and laugh and joke about it and joke about how we're all going to die. Like, that's kind of it.
Well, that's why I think there's so much of like, this is Gen Z. And I'm like, I guess these characters are Gen Z, but I do think that they're touching on things from other generations here too.
I think the show is less about this is exactly what Gen Z's like and more about this is what the world's like. after, like, I would compare this show to almost being the logical end of like the decade. The 2010s began with The Social Network, and this is the result of that. Like, then this is 2019, and this is like the logical sequel to The Social Network of like, now everyone is truly miserable. Like, no one thinks they've achieved, no one thinks they look good. Like, everyone's anxious. It's just, I feel like it's like
anxious. Everyone's
this
insecure.
is the world you guys built for us to live in, and this is what we all live in now.
Well, I do appreciate that, the white guys are the villains of this show, and the girls are the stars.
Hey, thank you.
That's what I appreciate about this show. That's what I really picked up on in this pilot.
We're always happy to entertain you.
Yeah, I do appreciate. I appreciate they're doing that they're going there.
Yeah, I do think though it's very one more thing just about the like living in anxiety and overstimulation is about like, I do think the 9/11 thing is purposeful of just like so you're born into the world and people are just watching 24/7 TV about one of the most devastating like murderous acts to happen like on TV like that, and then it's all the way up to like, it really never goes away because when Rue walks into the kitchen, like her mom's screaming about like healthcare stuff that they just can't get healthcare stuff paid for. Her sister's like, did you see the beauty queen who got acid thrown on her face? Rue's like saying she's looking for tampons, but she's really trying to get in the mom's medicine cabinet in there. Seems like it just, this is the chaotic world that they're living in now.
In a world that's nonstop.
Yeah.
It's just nonstop things kind of coming at you and more news coming at you.
Yeah.
And I do feel like after 9/11, we did start living in that like 24/7 news world.
Yeah.
The frantic pace really keeps you on the edge of your seat for this entire episode. It's like, we are zooming. We are going from one thing to the next. Like, you really have to pay attention in this show.
The editing is rapid.
It's quick. It's quick.
Yeah. But you are right. Men don't come out looking great in all these scenarios in the pilot.
And I appreciate that. I think it's definitely trying to say something about that. And I like it.
Huh.
All right. Well, in the pilot, as you said, there is a lot of shocking stuff. There's a lot of moments that, they really go there. So our top 5 this week is top 5 oh shit moments.
I did say oh shit a couple times watching this.
You did. Yeah. I mean, even I did, and I've seen it, and I'm like, oh, right. I forgot that happens.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of moments like that in this.
Like, oh shit. Yeah.
Oh shit. We're going there. All right. So number 5, oh shit moment goes to Maddy has public sex in the pool. I think this might have been one of the more shocking things from when I watched it the first time. I really just could not. I just don't think I've ever seen that in a TV show before.
Of just blatantly having sex in a pool in front of people like that.
To make your ex-boyfriend jealous.
Well, Lucas Gage there was happy to be there. He's like, sure, let's do that. Yeah. I'll make your boyfriend jealous.
I know. Now, rewatching it, I didn't find it as shocking. But
I don't know if it had made my list, but I do get what you mean of like watching it, especially from a girl's perspective of like, what are people going to say about you doing this at
and
a
you
high
see
school
people,
party like this?
You see people filming her and she doesn't care, which good for her. Care. She does not care. She's I think that's how I thought of it now.
I was like, wow, she's pretty liberated. To just do whatever she wants.
I know. I think this time I was more like, well, if she doesn't care, why do I care?
I mean, it is messy. She's purposely trying to like get a response out of that guy, and boy, does she get a response.
I think I just was thinking, oh, there's no way she's like having sex.
Yeah,
like maybe she's naked or something, but I don't think they're like doing it.
I didn't know who she was for this, but she seems to be. I was like, she's great in this too.
She's so good. Yeah, she's one of my favorites. Alexa Demi, who plays Maddy.
Yeah, and I did know who Lucas Gage was because I've seen him in like horror movies and stuff. But,
didn't you think this scene really made sense for a Lucas Gage scene?
I was like,
this
he
is
just
where
kind
he
of does
thrives.
his thing, and it's always enjoyable.
Yeah,
like,
he's so good at it. Yeah, he's so good at it. All right, number 4, oh shit moment goes to, this one's a tough one. McKay chokes Cassie.
Well, yeah.
This
I think when that happened, I did say, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
Because you had the setup of those guys talking to him and just getting in his head about how he's supposed to perform with a woman. And then it's just like, and then when you see it, you're like, no, oh shit, don't do this.
And these guys too, like Nate is so confident that he knows what Cassie wants because he's seen some photos of her. It's so ridiculous. And you can just see though, McKay being like, well, I don't know what to do, so I guess I should listen to him. I guess I should do that. He seems to know. And it's such terrible advice. Not even advice. It's terrible that he listens to this. And it's sad. It's really where you see boys being toxic with each other.
No, you're right. Whenever a bunch of shirtless guys are sitting around talking about girls, they often don't come up with the best advice about what you should do, because it turns into a macho off of like, where you're exaggerating how many girls you've been with or what you've done in bed, or like, and then they go down this road of talking so negatively about women. That happens all the time. Like, where it's like, instead of like going down the road McKay's talking of, he's like, no, she's like, he says she's smart and funny and likes cars.
I know.
Like, they're like, no, she's like,
and why?
Like, it just goes down such a negative road.
And why? Just because she's sent naked photos to somebody in the past, you know? Like, that doesn't translate then to wanting to be choked in bed.
It highlights the sad game of young guys desperately try to get girls to send them nudes. And then when they do, they call them a slut for doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can really see, though, McKay and Cassie's insecurities together, like in this scene when they are hooking up.
I agree with that. I thought that when I was watching. I was like, this is two insecure people, and this is just rough.
They just communicated with each other before hooking up. I think that this is also really, with this scene, they're trying to show, like, you do need to communicate with somebody about consent and about like what a person likes in bed and doesn't like in bed.
It's sad because you see that scene earlier where you find out that he'd been over to like dinner at her house. And then you see the scene of him being like, she's smart and funny and likes cars. And it's like, wow, they have like affection for each other. And it's just like getting completely screwed up based on these social pressures of, performative masculinity, of like, they could just decide that being masculine maybe just means like you're happy with a partner.
Right.
Like, you don't have to perform this aggressive macho wrestler thing.
Right. And good for her for shouting no. Honestly.
Yeah. She said, unless I ask you to.
I know. I
fair.
really like that moment, though, with her of being able to stand up for herself, say no, she doesn't like that, and communicate, ask why he did that, and ask him not to do that unless I say so.
I could just see, though, Nate is that kind of guy that would like, coax a guy into like, he's almost trying to like coax him into assaulting her. Then you could see Nate then talking to this girl and being like, oh, I can't believe he did that to you. Like, you know what I mean? Just like so many guys are just like.
Well, they had to give us that warning. Like Rue gives us a warning.
Well, I promise you it's not going to end in like full on assault.
Sexual assault. Yeah.
Because I was like, oh shit. I don't want to see this.
I was like, please, no.
Yeah.
So that was a tough one. Number 3, oh shit moment. Another tough one. Rue's overdose and her sister Gia walks in.
Whoa, that was
this
terrible.
was tough to watch, and it's only like a 5-second scene where we see Gia walk in the room and Rue's on the floor. There's vomit by her.
She's laid there like she's like the Exorcist has happened to her, and it's
she
like
can't breathe.
It's vomit, like it's awful.
It's horrible to see.
Yeah,
and to know that her younger sister had to see that, it's just so. It's sad.
It weirdly does a good job of like, even though Rue is so cool, I don't think it makes drugs seem that cool.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's like she's clearly self-medicating with the drugs throughout.
Right.
Like this is like her just trying to calm like the depression and the anxiety in her head.
Yeah.
But then also it shows you just horrible things like that where you're like, she almost died.
Yeah, they never show her, at least in this episode, we don't see her doing drugs with anybody. She's doing them alone. So they're not making it look fun.
Yeah.
I mean, even when she's sitting with Fez, he's not doing drugs with her.
No.
He's trying to get through to her.
Yeah.
And he's a drug dealer.
It's bad when your drug dealer's like, I don't think you want this.
So they're really not trying to, show it be cool or show it to be, aspirational in any kind of way. It's sad. Like we see her get out of rehab and immediately go to buy drugs.
Although I will say it is pretty cool watching her figure out how to game that urine test. I was like, this is like a real caper here. I was like, but it just shows that like that's the way it is with teenagers too. Anything you try to stop them from doing, they've got the time to like and the like focus to try to like solve these things, to find ways around. And you can't just be on them for every second. Like it's hard to stop someone from finding ways to game everything.
She does do a good job of gaming her mom in that scene, I will say. But it is like she's determined. And
well, I think they also told us Rue's pretty smart, right?
Yeah.
So like she's just like a drug addict. So like she when she's motivated to get the drugs, she can find a way.
Yeah. And I'm sure too a little bit of her mom doesn't fully want to know. Like
yeah.
I think that
you don't want to imagine
we see her mom
bad
be
that your daughter
scared.
has a little spray bottle strapped to her thigh, fake peeing.
Yeah, we see her mom be so scared. She's been through a lot.
Yeah.
And it feels like she can't really handle anymore at this point. All right, number 2 in our top 5 oh shit moments. Number 2 goes to Nate threatening Jules in the kitchen. He is scary.
That was scary. He's a big dude. That Jacob Elordi's a tall fella.
Yeah. And he is angry in this scene.
Yes, absolutely.
This is after he sees Maddy in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And he has completely lost it. But it's very clear in this scene that he's just a violent guy.
I mean, well, you see it earlier, too, of when he runs Jules off the road with his truck and is, like, yelling stuff at her. Like, he is just such a, like, macho aggressive guy of, like, he's looking for fights, especially with someone who's vulnerable.
When he starts yelling, who knows Jules? Does anybody know Jules? It's, like, so, you just want to, like, cry for her in this moment.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like so humiliating of him calling her out. It's bad enough he's being like scary and angry and so aggressive towards her, but then he's also being really mean and acting like she doesn't belong at this party and she's new in town.
I mean, it is just though your worst nightmare of just like if you're a new person to be called out like that at a party, first of all. But then there's also the danger of there's like, this gigantic man who's like seems to be really threatening her.
Yeah.
That he's gonna like assault her. And it's really scary. And it is kind of clearly playing on you were saying like men can be the villains in this pilot, and I think that was a very real thing that sometimes maybe a sexually or or personally frustrated man can then take out his anger on an innocent woman, or especially, a trans woman.
Yeah.
Like a major target for violence in this world can be angry, frustrated men looking for targets like that.
Well, and it feels like maybe Jules has dealt with this before because she seems to know how to deal with him in this situation somewhat. I mean,
I kind of thought Jules was awesome in how she handled it.
It was smart.
Yeah, because it's like, you're not going to get the bully to go away by seeming meek.
Well, and that just makes him go even harder at her when she seems a little scared at first. You can see him then doubling down on her and going even harder at her.
She's like, I'm not bothering anyone.
Yeah.
And he's like, the way you look bothers him, basically,
Yeah. But when she starts portraying herself as crazy and grabs that knife, boy, does it work.
It was pretty awesome. She's like, yeah, it's the old, you want to get crazy? Let's get nuts.
Yeah. And then she cuts herself with it. I think it's like my favorite moment of the pilot, honestly.
Kind of like, that was badass crazy.
Yeah. You just don't see it coming. Yeah.
He's kind of scared of her.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Whoa. Like, she just cut herself right there.
Like, whoa, I'm not trying to get, knives into it. Meanwhile, it looked like you were about to assault her.
Yeah, I just wanted to use my body that is way bigger than yours to intimidate you.
Right.
Yeah, how dare you bring a weapon into this?
But boy, did he cower right away with that.
I know.
Good for Jules.
Yeah, it's, a tough defense mechanism that sometimes, someone in that situation has to do, is like, let them think you're crazy. Let them think you're aggressive to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's your only defense.
Yeah.
Against someone who can hurt you in that way.
Right. Well, it worked.
I thought it was a great scene.
It was a great scene.
I was like, wow. I really I don't know. I was like, I really like Jules right here.
And Rue thought that too.
Yeah, Rue was with me. Rue was like, seems like a cool girl.
Rue's like, I gotta know more about this now. Somebody's standing up to Nate Jacobs? Tell me more.
Yeah. Who is this Sailor Moon girl, as Fez calls her?
I know. I mean, fitting.
Yeah.
She's riding that bike all over town.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now to our number one. Oh, shit. Moment of this episode. I mean, there's only one thing that it could be.
I know.
It obviously goes
let me
to...
guess. Is it DominantDaddy?
DominantDaddy is revealed to be Nate's dad.
Oh, man. That was like, what? That was when they cut to the family photo. I think I did say, oh shit.
Yeah. It's impossible to see that coming.
I was like, that's crazy.
That was quite
but it
the
all
reveal.
Makes so much sense.
Yes.
Talk about this all being wrapped up in one thing of two sides of the same coin, the violence and the anger, and then the lust and the desire, all being like the same kind of guy and family.
Yeah. I mean, the irony of Nate being the one to attack Jules at the party after his dad. Ugh. I can't with that scene. It's hard to watch.
I gotta, I mean, it was a lot, that scene to watch, because
the scene at the motel with Jules and DominantDaddy.
Well, you see her on the app first. She's on Grindr.
Yeah. And I'm already like, oh, this isn't a good idea.
Yeah. Then she's like, you're not a serial killer. And he sends her the bottle of champagne. And she's like, excited for the attention. And then you just see this guy. And were you like, oh my God, that's McSteamy?
Yeah, I was. I was like, oh my God. That was another oh shit moment for me when I first watched this. Like, oh shit, that's McSteamy.
Eric Dane, who just passed away this year.
Yeah.
But I did not know any of this about his character in Euphoria. And I was like, wow.
No, he comes in very crazy. Dark. Yeah. Very different from McSteamy in Grey's Anatomy. This was a very different role for him.
there's so many rough parts about it. You don't feel good about her going to this motel. You don't feel
No.
good about her, like, having sex with this much older man who's clearly living this like secret life. You see the picture of his family on the phone. You see his wedding band on the nightstand.
Yeah. It's just icky all around.
You see his blurry erect penis.
I forgot about that. Yeah, one of the two penises we see in this episode. And I mean, Jules is underage. That's the thing too. It's not just like, oh, it's, we don't, it's like icky to watch. It's like she is underage.
Absolutely. It's statutory rape. Like, it's illegal. Like, it's horrible. Like, and like, I get the impression, look, Jules says she's 22. I think he knows she's not 22.
Right.
I think he knows. He says, like, because she says, I'm here to visit, like, my grandparents or some lie like that.
Yeah.
And, like, he's not asking her much about, like, so are you at college? Like, and then he says, like, I hope you never leave this town. So he knows she's lying. You know what I mean? When he's like, you'll either move off somewhere where they'll appreciate you, or you'll live here and live in secret motel rooms with me, and I hope you don't leave. And it's like, I think he knows. I mean, it's so gross when he's like, they're normally not this clean. Like,
I know.
He says to her. It's really just icky stuff.
Yeah. Or he's just not asking the right questions to try and find out. Like, he doesn't care at the end of the day is really what it is. All right. Well, I have some honorable.
It's a rough scene. It's a rough scene.
It's
not
a rough
gonna
scene.
Lie.
I think it's the toughest scene to watch in this pilot.
Yeah, because you're right. It's icky, but it's also a crime. But there's just so much happening that it's just, you really feel so bad for Jules in this situation.
Even the way he's speaking to her is just so gross. It's really all around hard to watch.
Some slight criticisms for Jules' dad, who might be a little too chill about your trans daughter in a brand new town going out and you not really seeming to check at all about where she's going, what she's doing. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is a dangerous situation. Like, I just feel like, I'm like, how's this guy so chill? When she's like, I'm going to a party or something. And then he's like, oh, or something. And he's like, oh, well, have fun. Hope
he
it's not a
didn't ask
motel
many
room.
questions.
Like,
yeah. I would have asked, like, who are you going with? Have you made a friend? He really does not ask any questions. But he's probably also excited that she's going out and making friends and seems to be acclimating to this new town. There is also just something of, I think a lot of times parents don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to ask the questions, because if they don't ask the questions, they don't really need to question it at all. They can just accept it. All right, I got some honorable mentions in our top 5 oh shit moments. Honorable mention goes to when Kat takes off her clothes in the room with the guys.
Yes.
This was a tough scene to watch, because this was one of those scenes that obviously I think is a little heightened, but felt very realistic to me, the way that the guys were talking to her.
Oh, it was so real.
Like, this is what young guys do, where they're egging her on and trying to label her either as a prude or a slut, trying to figure out what she's done and being like, oh, no, you're lying. Like, it was just, I'm like, leave her alone. Just leave her alone.
It just, it comes so natural to men, unfortunately, but, smell blood in the water, and then they're just manipulating her insecurities to get her to do what they want. And then it's just so sad, because you were saying, this isn't really the show about like virginity stories and things like that. And it is like, when she's done with that, she tells her friend of like, I lost like my virginity. And it's just, And she's like, oh, that's fun. How was it? Like, she's talking about it. And I think that's showing us in the after of how we talk about these things sometimes as being much more rose-colored glasses. But like when you saw the reality of her in that room, you're like, this is really, really sad and dark.
Well, I think that's why it's sad, is because she didn't leave the room. She's not trying to shut down their questioning or anything. She's falling into their trap. And
she's liking the attention.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. I mean, she said early on before they went to the party, she's like, I'd settle for some like Coronas and a little non-rapey attention. And she's like, she wants some attention from guys, but then they're using it in such a toxic way to manipulate her. It's rough.
Yeah. And you see her trying to just be so cool in the scene. Like she's really trying to come off so cool. I mean, she's also in the room with the guys smoking pot. Like she's clearly, I think, trying to come off kind of like, I'm cool, I'm chill.
I don't care if you call me fat. It's like brutal. It's brutal. I hated that when they were
I hated it.
They're like, we heard like fat girls give the best head. And I'm just like, this is, it's real though. It's very real.
I wanted to punch every one of those boys.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, you're saying you're not a prude? Prove it. Ugh. But she doesn't have to prove anything to you.
And I do understand, and you're not wrong that, there's a lot of guys who are villains in the story. But I do think a lot of what this is about is the revolving nature of insecurity, like causing this toxicity to just snowball. Because like those boys are insecure too about their sexual prowess and their masculinity. And like when they were in the room earlier with Nate Jacobs, they want to seem like they're big shots and can like, have sex with lots of women and they're big guys around town. So like they're trying to play up that kind of model there. It's all just the way McKay was, and just the way Nate Jacobs is also just like very like insecure about watching his ex-girlfriend go have sex with another guy. So it's like all these people are acting out an insecurity. Just
it's like
ways.
These boys are insecure too, but when you're a teenage girl, you don't realize that. You don't realize that they're acting out of insecurity, and you're insecure and you want to come off as cool to them.
Yes.
Because you want the guys to think you're cool at that age.
Yeah. It's a currency, getting that male attention.
I know. Ugh. I was like, this is exactly how I felt as a teenager too. Like you just want to come off cool to the guys so bad. And it is just, it's so, now being older, it's hard to watch.
But I do think what helps ground the story is that like our protagonist, Rue, doesn't seem insecure. It's just a mess in a different way. So it's like everyone around her is living through this insecure thing. And she's sort of just like, I'm just trying to survive. And is just kind of guiding us through this world, floating above it almost.
That's a good point. Yeah. I think too, as like we get to know every character, you kind of learn a little bit more of everyone's problems, what everybody is dealing with.
I liked her character a lot because I did feel like that's relatable and real too.
She definitely is one of my favorite characters. I think also that scene was highlighting that to young boys, or just I think young people, a lot of times it's like, you're a prude or you're a slut. Like there's just no in between. And that is like so crazy. And it's so crazy of even like labeling people in that way. Like what does it really matter?
No, I know what you mean. It's about like, it's because all these people are trying to figure out their own sexuality. They're figuring out where they stand in the world, who they are. And so they're desperate to give themselves all experience.
Yeah.
So that they can then feel like they are someone,
Yeah. They all just want to be somebody.
They just want to be somebody at Euphoria High.
Yeah, everybody wants to be somebody at Euphoria High.
Was it shocking at the time that Jules was trans? I feel like how it plays out in the story, I could see viewers in 2019 not grasping that Jules is trans early on because like kind of zoomed out shots that she's on Grindr and there's just that quick shot of her taking hormones and
Yeah.
like I just think if you're a casual viewer, it might have taken people a second at the time. And it's also and it's at a time when we're still we're still figuring out like we've gone from very like negative portrayals of trans people in the media
Yeah.
in the past. So it's kind of interesting that they're dropping, a layered trans character where it's not like this big coming out thing that she's
Right.
trans. Like it's just like catch up. We're way past that.
I think with Jules, it wasn't necessarily super shocking, but I think what the show did that was more shocking was that there's no like discussion of her sexuality.
Mhm.
So there's not this like heartfelt moment or something like that in this episode where Jules really opens up to Rue. Like it's just a part of her and we don't have to. They didn't make this an after school special with it.
Mhm. Well, I don't think they talk about Rue's sexuality either.
No,
I don't think
not
anything's
yet.
said.
No, nothing
So,
is said in
like,
the pilot.
I do think at least that part is right on
Yeah.
for Gen Z and younger about sexuality.
It's refreshing. It's so nice to see that in one of these shows too.
Yeah, a lot of these shows got caught up a little too much in a box of like a coming out identity story.
Yeah.
And like, sure, that is certainly some people's experience, but there are also a lot of people's experience that are, different.
Yeah,
and
I
you
think,
can show people who maybe don't want to label themselves or talk about it exactly.
And I think that both stories should be told.
Of course,
I just think that all these perspectives should be told, and this one hasn't really been told yet. So it's nice that this show did that.
I mean, I know there were trans characters and Orange is the New Black and like
right.
Transparent and stuff, but I do think this kind of like so highly viewed glossy show on like HBO Sunday nights, I do think people probably were like, whoa, this is interesting. Like,
and it's never actually said in the pilot either.
No.
So they more show it to you, but they don't say it.
Which
and
I
not to I appreciated that too. And I think though that's also why it was talked about a lot at that time of like, oh, this is, it felt like we were making some kind of progress. But you do learn more of Jules' story throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
Not to give you a spoiler, but you do with every character. You learn about their past and why they are the way they are.
I love Jules in this pilot, and I'm like aware of who Hunter Schafer is, but hadn't really seen her in that much stuff. But I was like, wow, really liked her in this pilot.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's such a star too. And I really like Jules as a character too. And she's a big part of this show.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she's a big part of season
very
1.
interested to see where it goes. It was very cool that like Rue, who's not only like feel like an outsider at the school in a way because like she's so drugged out, she's so like went to rehab and is just dealing with so many like mental and emotional problems that like it's just fun for her to find like a kindred spirit in Jules in that moment and be like, I see you on the outside as well. Like
it's such a relief when they do find each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when Rue goes home with Jules, I feel like I breathed a sigh of relief of like, okay, these two people who have been alone a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
It's nice that now they're together because they're both very isolated and on their own throughout the entire episode.
Yeah.
And you're worried about them. You're worried what could happen. So then when they find each other, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They have each other now. They're going to be okay.
I think that's right. I think that's probably why I was saying it almost has a Fight Club feel to the vibe of things because the character Rue is so isolated and so in her own head. And you see so many scenes of her alone Like
Yeah.
where you're like, this is an odd vibe. And then you see all these other people, but like constantly her alone in her own head or doing her own thing.
Yeah. No, definitely. You're like, oh, good. She's speaking to somebody. It's not just narration.
I know. I liked her narration. I thought Zendaya did a great job. I like when she was like, I'm a pretty unreliable narrator, by the way.
I know. Yeah. I was like, oh, right.
Like,
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Like, don't take everything I say seriously, guys.
She's like, this is sort of a brainstorm.
And that's what I like to say. For me too.
Same with
Don't
this podcast.
take everything I say too seriously, guys.
We're unreliable podcasters.
It's all a brainstorm.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do some Tyler's takes?
Yeah. You hit a lot of it. I mean, you hit a lot of good stuff. Tyler's takes is what I write down in my notes app while I'm watching it. Often it's just random thoughts. So the first thing I wrote down was they see that therapist with child Rue, and she diagnoses her with OCD, anxiety disorder, ADD, and bipolar.
That's a lot. That
was pretty funny. Again, I think the show's a little heightened. I don't think she was actually child diagnosed with all that. I think it's just showing us that the world is like, they're trying to show us that we feel like we're living in a world that's over-diagnosing.
Yes, 100%. They're also diagnosing her with all of that as a child.
Yeah.
Which I think that they're just trying to say, like, we are diagnosing children at a very young age, which some of that I think is like,
Sure. I think it's making a literal point about all that. I also think it's making a kind of overall point that despite maybe caring parents and caring physicians trying to help people, they're not fixing this mess of a world they live in.
Right.
The system. And that might be the problem that's causing a lot of this anxiety and depression.
Right. We're just giving them prescription pills and diagnosing them with some disorder.
Yeah. I love the line that Rue says, if the world moved fast, my brain moved slow. And I was like, boy, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Just like, even though I know she's talking about being in a drugged up stupor, I just think that's a relatable thing to how everyone in the world feels now.
Well, that's the thing. She has so many relatable lines. And I know she's saying them a lot of times about drugs or how she feels on drugs, but they are relatable. And I think it's just more like how a lot of people feel in the world today.
Definitely. Britney Spears catching a stray there.
I know. I didn't love that. But it wasn't negative towards her.
I don't think it was negative. I just think it's like,
I'm just like, let's leave Britney alone.
Because I think they were just being like how we treat people who are dealing with things.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not great. That's for sure. Britney's still going through it.
One last Ashtray reference I have to make. He had a great line when he's trying to sell Rue the new drugs, and he says, shit's been blowing up in Tampa, which just really made me laugh for this child drug dealer in California. Acts like he's just got people on the ground in Tampa.
I feel like he knows. I would trust what he says. He seems to know a lot of things. He's got boots on the ground in Tampa.
Yeah. Cassie's mom says to Rue, meet any cute boys in rehab? That wine drunk mom.
Yeah, she's iconic.
It really was more like, you mean cute boys in rehab? Like it was like, whoa, hello.
It was so good. I think she's drunk in like every scene that she's in. It's great. She always has that big glass of wine.
I'm going to poison you in your sleep if you don't shut up.
Cassie is so embarrassed.
I know.
But what a great line of a mom asking, you meet any cute boys in rehab?
You meet any cute boys in rehab?
It's so funny.
That killed me. That made me laugh so much.
It's so funny.
I paused the Grindr page for DominantDaddy.
Oh, God. I don't even want to know.
DominantDaddy's page says he's top only, but he's sweet and gentle. And I'm a sucker for twinks and femboys.
I did not see
DominantDaddy's profile.
I did not see him be sweet and gentle.
You didn't think he was sweet and gentle?
No, I did not see that.
false advertising. We're reporting your profile, DominantDaddy.
Yeah.
For also because you're a criminal.
Yeah. We're reporting it for a few different reasons.
Lots of stuff with underage things in this because, like, you know, also whatever like Nate has pulled up showing nudes of Cassie, like that's illegal. Like this is an underage girl, like that you just have all these nudes of.
Yeah.
Like really gross stuff. People who put that stuff together.
I know. It was just so sad to see. And you see her being so meek throughout the whole episode. And she's trying to figure out why McKay would think that about her. And it's just...
it's not even clear that the video they show is her. Like,
no, we don't know. At least at this episode, we don't know.
I have no idea. And like, I do think like, you know, it's one of those things where they're just collecting like stuff on this board or forum or whatever and just claiming it's whatever. So I can't imagine how bad it is now with like AI face swapping stuff. Like,
oh, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, the new Euphoria, I think if they were doing it now, would be even more disgusting. Of where you may not have even ever seen a nude, and there's just pages of you nude.
Ooh, it's so dark. I mean, the Snapchat.
If only we could go back to the turbulent times of 2019.
I know. But it is like, I feel like we look back on 2019 pre-pandemic. We're like, what a time. It's like, it wasn't great, guys. Still wasn't great. Still wasn't great for those teens. We didn't even give them a chance.
I thought the room spinning thing for Rue was cool when she starts walking on the walls, and that's when I was like, man, they are spending some money on this show.
That was cool. Yeah, I mean, that looked like a music video for a second.
I know. I was like, that's pretty cool. I will say there's obviously a lot of negative portrayal of drugs, but I do think one thing they get right I still remember this we were supposed to be having an open dialogue in high school about drugs with like this teacher, and they said just like feel free to bring up any point you want, everyone be honest. I remember you know, people talked about like addiction and things like that, and I said, well, you know, one problem that people don't acknowledge in all this like anti-drug propaganda we get in high school is that drugs do sometimes bring people together. Like people are looking for friends, and sometimes people make friends by like, oh, they both get high.
Yeah.
And they sent me out of the class. They said I was making a joke. They said that was inappropriate to even suggest. And I still get mad about that because I was like, that's exactly right. You're not listening to me on like what you're fighting against.
Also, that was an open dialogue. That wasn't
an open dialogue anymore. I was they shut me out of it. Shut me out of the dialogue. They said I was making a big joke about it.
That's a great point.
I was being real. But I think this show shows exactly what I thought back in high school of just, you know, Fez and Rue are friends and care about each other beyond just the drugs they've done together.
Yeah.
Because drugs may bring people together, but then their humanity keeps them friends. And I'm just saying that sometimes you do find, I just remember that growing up of sometimes I'll be like, that's a weird connection that those people are friends. And I'd find out like, oh, they get high together. And that's how they found out they liked each other.
I smoked pot with a lot of random people in high school that I wasn't really friends with, but
I just think it nails that friendship.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
Of just people, it crosses cliques and interests.
It does,
and all kinds of things of like people just get high sometimes. That's what I'm just saying that's a thing you're fighting against too. If you're trying to get like teenagers not to do drugs,
yeah,
sometimes it is their social life, like.
And it just feels like a way where you can kind of, you know, put your guard down with somebody new, and you're kind of getting to know this person who maybe you wouldn't normally talk to.
Yeah. We're not promoting it.
We're not
saying this is what you should do. You should probably find healthier ways to connect with other people. But I sympathize for how sometimes lonely people find each other.
Yeah.
Getting high.
It's kind of the appeal of it. It's not necessarily all of like how the drug makes you feel.
Yeah. It's a real thing sometimes.
Yeah.
The connection. And I felt the last thing I wrote down was when the credits hit, there's an old obscure country song from the like 60s that plays called like Snowflake. And I do think I'm like, this is Sam trying to be kind of transgressive here of just like, were you able to handle that? Are you a snowflake? I do think he's like commenting on that stuff.
100%. Yeah. He knew that people were going to be all up in arms.
That I'd be all flush.
That you'd be all flush. Yeah.
All this nudity and drug use.
Teenagers doing drugs. What?
Lord.
What are they doing? Yeah. No.
More than just red wine?
No red wine to be found here. Yeah.
It was a good show. I'm excited to watch more. Ready for Ep 2.
Great show, you guys. I mean, if you have not rewatched it in a bit, rewatch that pilot because it holds up, which I was shocked about. I thought it wouldn't, to be honest. I thought we were all in like a fugue state and just this show was so shocking at the time and it was so different that we were just excited to watch it.
It is shocking. I will say, you do have to like expect you're going to have to see probably nudity, violence, drug use, like some graphic scenes. But
I always tell people that if you found the first ep to be like too shocking for you, didn't want to continue, just make it through ep 3 and then it starts to get a little bit.
What happens in ep 3?
I mean, I don't remember. I just feel like I've always said that. It was like my like Euphoria watching guide. Like make it through ep 3 and then it's not as and honestly it's probably more like you just get used to it.
Like, oh, there's another erect penis. Oh well.
Oh, we've seen them. We've done it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. This kind of got me, fired up to watch the rest of Euphoria.
Yeah, I know. Better than what I expected. So I'm excited to watch the rest of it.
I thought it was good.
It's going to be fun. And more penises.
And we promise our reviews won't be this long every time. This was just sort of setting the table, if you will. Like laying it all out here while we're covering this show and what we want to say. After this, I think they'll be a little more fast and furious. I certainly hope so. I don't want to spend this much time talking about every episode.
No, we had to get into all the lore, though. We had to do the lore.
So many old shits.
Yeah, a lot of oh shit moments we had to cover. Yeah. Well, we will be back for episode 2 of Euphoria, where we'll be covering more oh shit moments. And I'm also currently recapping every ep of Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr., Carolyn Bessette. So be sure to check that all out on the same feed. And follow our podcast wherever you get your podcast. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. We would love that. It really helps. Subscribe and like our videos on YouTube and buy our merch on Etsy. Thanks for listening.
Bye.